In the last few days, a 3D texturing software came out. Actually, let me take that back. It is not totally new. It is a 3D texturing app for iPad that was ported to Windows and it is now free to use. But is it actually something that you can take advantage of as a 3D artist? So the story of Wafer, the 3D texturing and painting app or software, is actually pretty interesting because it didn't just appear randomly. It came out from a very specific place in the 3D world. It started with a small team called Sparseal, and these guys already made tools like Cozy Blanket and Uniform. So they were already deep into sculpting, retopology, and texturing tools. But here's the thing. Those tools were more like all-in-one. Then they realized something. Texture painting, especially stylized stuff, needed its own focus tools. This is where basically Wafer was born. When Wafer first came out, around the early of 2026, it was iPad first, which is a big deal. As you know, most serious 3D texturing tools live on desktop, like Substance Painter or Mari, but Wafer flipped that idea. It was designed to feel more like a drawing and texturing app, with brushes, layers, and masks, but directly on 3D models. Basically, its vibe is, what if painting textures felt like Procreate but in 3D? Another interesting part is the tech behind it. So they didn't just build a simple app, they basically created their own engine stack using Rust and WGPU. This allowed them to focus heavily on performance and responsiveness, especially on tablets. So even with high-res textures and multi-layers, it is meant to stay smooth, which is something even big desktop software sometimes actually struggle with. Then pretty quickly, they started expanding. After the iPad release, Wafer got updates, like new tools, better painting features, and then they dropped a Windows beta version for free, which you can download right now. That's when it started to feel like this isn't a niche tablet app anymore, but it could become a real cross-platform tool that is taking shape as we speak. And overall, Wafer's whole identity is kinda clear. I think it is more focused on stylized and hand-painted workflows, especially for games, animations, and especially for indie artists. So instead of being everything, it is trying to be fast, clean, and enjoyable to paint with, especially on the fly. So yeah, this is a small team building some focused tool, beginning on tablets, then hopefully slowly expanding, instead of going the big studio software route from day one. So when Wafer came to Windows in the beta version, it basically brought almost the same core tools from the iPad version, but now in the desktop workflow. And honestly, the way I see it is not trying to be the super complicated industry monster like Substance or Mari. It is more like a clean, fast, and very artist-friendly tool. Honestly, I think it does not have a chance to compete with Substance, for example. First of all, because it is a new software, plus knowing it wasn't originally just an app, and simply because I don't think the developers are trying to do that in the first place. When it comes to tools and features, the first thing you will notice is the painting tools themselves. You've got brushes with pressure support, blur, smudge, gradients, and all the stuff you would expect. But the vibe is more like a software that can be used by everybody, compared to a technical 3D tool. You can use stencils, decals, stamps, and even custom brush shapes. So it feels closer to Photoshop or Procreate, just on 3D models. There is even a layer system, which is actually pretty powerful. You're not just painting directly on the model and hoping for the best. You can stack layers, use masks, control opacity, blend modes, and so on. Basically non-destructive workflow. So if you mess up something, you don't have to restart, just tweak the layers. One of the coolest parts is how it handles painting in 3D and UVs at the same time. You can paint directly on the model, but also switch to UV view if you want precision. And it avoids those annoying seams, so your strokes can flow naturally. I mean across every surface. Plus, it supports symmetry both in 2D and 3D, which is huge for characters or anything mirrored. Another big thing is multi-channel painting. So instead of painting just one color, you can paint roughness, metallic, and other PBR channels all at once. So one brush stroke can affect multiple material properties. As you can tell, that's actually a pretty pro-level feature, even though the app feels simple. Performance-wise, this is where Wafer is kinda sneaky. It is designed so your brush stays smooth, so even if you're working on some high-resolution textures or lots of layers, it doesn't slow down just because your project gets heavy, which is something artists constantly find in other tools. And then you've got all the extra workflow tools, things like built-in reference board, so you can keep images next to your model, an asset library with decals and alphas, and flexible export options, where you can pack textures however you want for game engines or renderers. So yeah, on Windows, Wafer basically gives you a mix of a painting tool app for free, plus some real 3D texturing power. As I said, it is not trying to replace any heavy tools like Substance, but for stylized work or some fast texturing, it is actually super practical. But why are they making this software free right now? I think the move to Windows and making Wafer free, for now at least, isn't random at all. It actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it. And when you look at how these tools grow, first, going to Windows is basically about reaching real production artists. Honestly, no one heard of it until it became available on Windows. So Wafer started on iPad as I said, which is great for creativity and sketching some ideas. But let's be honest, most 3D pipelines still live on desktop. Artists using Blender, Unreal, or any 3D software, they all operate on PC. So if Wafer stayed only on iPad, it would always feel like a side tool, and moving to Windows is probably them saying, okay, now we want to be on the part of the actual production workflow. And there is also another layer of it. Their tech actually allows it. I mean, they built Wafer with a custom cross-platform system, which is Rust plus WGPU. So porting it to Windows wasn't starting from scratch, not really. It was more like, we already built the engine to run everywhere, and now they are just expanding it. So this move was kind of a planned move from the beginning, I believe, not an afterthought. Now about making it free, I think this is a classic open beta strategy. This app is still early, not fully stable, and it is still evolving, and by making it free, they will get a lot of artists testing it, breaking it apart, and giving them some feedback. And this is way more valuable than charging people early and getting fewer users. So it is basically a move to help them improve the tool, and in return, lots of artists can use it right now for free. They are also marketing the software in a smart way. If you think about it for a moment, the market is dominated by big tools like Substance Painter, which not everybody can afford, and it is kinda heavy performance-wise. And Wafer is coming from the opposite angle. It is lightweight, stylized, and easy to use. And making it free as a start lowers the barrier to more artists to try it without thinking twice. And once people get used to it, this is where it becomes part of their workflow. On a side note, the free beta doesn't mean it will always stay free forever. Even the developers hint that a proper paid version might be coming later. So this is more like building momentum first, getting some users, and building the community around it, and then refining the tools later and turn it into a proper production tool, which is the oldest trick in the book. And there you have it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to receive more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.